Yo, what's good? It's your boy Riot Maker, and on today's Destiny video, we're going to look at auto rifles and if they can compete in this meta right now in the Crucible. We'll be looking at their strengths, best play styles, best secondary to pair it with, best stat modifiers, best main perks, and the optimum range for each auto rifle. We'll be looking at low rate of fire, mid rate of fire, high rate of fire, and auto rifles with focus fire. That's going to be our fourth category. Before we get into the video, I'm doing a giveaway, Destiny 2, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. I'll link the information to that in the description. I also made a Twitter, so if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I'll put that in the description as well. But auto rifles, I think auto rifles are they're in a different state than they've been before. They're a lot better. They receive a range buff of 7% and a extra headshot multiplier or increased damage to headshots. Right now we're going to talk about the high rate of fire auto rifles such as the Doctrine of Passing, the Necrochasm, the new Monarchy auto rifle. I believe it's called the Executioner, but correct me if I'm wrong. These auto rifles are actually still really good in the Crucible. I don't know why I don't see a lot of them. Well, I know why I don't see a lot of them. It's because secondary ammo is very scarce, so it's really hard to come to use just a close range weapon as your primary. But I know a lot of people are using icebreakers, and icebreakers is one of the best weapons to pair with things like this because you can't pair it with the last word. An icebreaker will cover your mid to long range, but you need something to cover your short range, and this weapon right here is amazing for an aggressive playstyle, or this archetype in general is amazing for an aggressive playstyle. It melts people up close, it puts constant damage, it causes constant flinch, and your opponent's not going to know what to do if you're getting the first shot off. They're probably going to end up running away, or they're just going to sit there and get melted. It's amazing. The optimum range for this, like I was stating before, is close to mid-range, so your highest competition is hand cannons and pulse rifles, but it can compete. If you're getting the first shot off, or if they're out in the open, you can melt someone with the hand cannon, especially if they miss one shot. And a pulse rifle, you can melt someone with a pulse rifle as well. You always want to look for stability, perfect balance, brace frame. Don't get anything that boosts your range, or don't get anything that hurts your range. You want the range to stay the same on these. Your main focus wants to be stability without hindering your range. So don't get hand laid stock, don't get injection mold. And for your main perks, again, just focus on stability, persistence, counterbalance, and the Necrochasm comes with Zen Moment, so that's also a really good stability perk. And the reasoning behind this is because this archetype of auto rifle relies on you constantly hitting your shots and landing your shots, so stability increases your percentage of you hitting your shots. Persistence, the longer your weapon is fired, the more accurate it grows. Counterbalance changes your recoil direction to straight up and down, and Zen Moment, whenever you cause damage, your weapon becomes more stable. So all three main perks focus on you landing your shots, and then your stat modifiers such as perfect balance and brace frame, they also help you land your shots. The Doctrine of Passing is a perfect example for that. Now we're going to look at mid rate of fire auto rifles, and I didn't say it before, but the high rate of fire auto rifles, the Doctrine of Passings, I think they're the second best auto rifles. I think these right here are the best auto rifles. These auto rifles are amazing, and if you haven't used one, you can pick them up right now. The Vanguard Quartermaster sells it, or the weapon Quartermaster for Vanguard, and Dead Orbit has an Extremophile that you can get. You're going to see gameplay of the Extremophile right now. But this type of auto rifle, mid rate of fire, amazing. It fits an aggressive playstyle. It fits a passive playstyle. It's a jack of all trades. It's very, very similar to the Hawksaw in terms of its time to kill. If you're constantly getting headshots, and it's harder for these to get headshots because everyone's moving and people are dipping in and out of cover. But if you're able to connect your headshots and get someone out in the open where auto rifles excel, you are going to do massive amount of damage and you're going to win a lot of your gunfights. This weapon, if spec'd correctly, is very good for close to mid-range. Again, competing with hand cannons, pulses, and mitas, but it can compete, believe me, It's the best auto rifle to use, this archetype. This Righteous you're seeing now is amazing. It was the old Venger Righteous from New Monarchy. He doesn't sell it anymore. Rifle barrel, perfect balance, and glass half full. It's probably the godliest roll you can ever get on a auto rifle, but you can still get the ARI 41 from Arms Day. So don't think I'm teasing you. You know, you can still get this type of weapons exactly the same. This archetype comes with a very high handling stat, so it's easy to run around the map with them, and the fact that auto rifles already reload faster than any other weapon in this game makes it to where like things like rifle barrel don't really make a difference. And of course, you know, you got the reloading speed gauntlets. If you need an auto rifle reloading speed gauntlets, the Zavala is selling good one for 75 legendary marks on Titans. I don't know about other characters, so yeah, don't quote me. With these, you want to look for perfect balance, brace frame, small bore I think is the best choice, and you also want to pair a rifle barrel, hammer forge, and or high cal. And the extreme assault I have is going to have high cal, and I'll explain to you why when that gameplay starts to play. But high cal is amazing. For your main perks, you also wouldn't mind getting stability, persistence, counterbalance, or rangefinder is a good one as well. But I prefer a damage perk because you want to increase your damage output. These weapons have a high mag size already, or this archetype, so you can drop 2 people. Things like crowd control and glass half full will allow you to drop the second person faster. This right here is the extreme fall you're seeing right now. It has high cal, perfect balance, and persistence with the sure shot sight. It's amazing. The high cal makes up for the fact that it doesn't have as much range with rifle barrel or hammer forge that my Righteous does. And the reasoning behind that is, you know, high cal gives you a little range buff, a little small range buff. But when you get into those mid-range gunfights, high cal is going to flinch your opponent to death, to hell. They're not going to know what hit them because of how fast these ARs shoot. And persistence is going to allow you to keep your shots on target. And perfect balance is just a great perk without having to have any negative drawbacks. I'm telling you, use this archetype of auto rifle right now. It's amazing. Go buy one from Dead Orbit. Go buy one from the Vanguard Quartermaster. Make sure it's a good roll though. You want to look for the perks I told you. Perfect balance, brace frame, small bore, rifle barrel, hammer forward, high cal, and you know, main perks, counterbalance, things like that, glass half full, crowd control. Any weapon of this archetype that's built for stability and range is going to dominate in the Crucible. And with the Righteous I dropped 30 kills twice in the span of like 20-30 minutes, so like 2-3 games I had 2 30+ kill games. I play very aggressively, so it fit my playstyle amazingly, but you can play passively if you want. I think this is the best auto rifle in the Crucible right now. Use it. It can compete in the right hands. Now the low rate of fire auto rifles. How sad it is to use these. Can I just say that? In year 1, Destiny had these auto rifles be the best weapons in the Crucible. Things like the Suros Regime, Grim Citizen, Shadow Price, they were everywhere. They dominated. And it's because the perks they were able to run with allowed them to produce a massive amount of damage, put high DPS, and drop people really, really fast. Perfect balance was, of course, the best option for auto rifles at the time, but they can also roll with reactive reload, crowd control, glass half full, things like that allowed them to just constantly train kills, kill after kill after kill, and it was amazing. But now these weapons fit a very passive playstyle. Because of the low fire rate, its time to kill does not compete with any weapon out there right now. Even scout rifles have no damage drop off on longer ranges, so they're going to outgun you in longer ranges. And that's where this gun has its optimum range, is mid to long range, and that's very stiff competition. You have the Parthenon shot, you have scout rifles, even pulse rifles like the Hawksaw can still do max damage at those ranges. And it's not a very good weapon in terms of its place in the meta. There's other weapons that can compete and outgun this weapon easily. So I pair this with a shotgun, just like the mid rate of fire. I pair them both with the shotgun. And this one you want to look for, I believe range is more important than stability, but you don't want to lower your stability, or you don't want to not take stability if stability's there. So things like small bore is great because it buffs both. Hammer forge and rifle barrel are great because rifle barrel just lowers your reload. Perfect balance and brace frame are also really good on these auto rifles if you have trouble landing your shots. But I feel like the best things you want to look for are utility perks. High cal, quick draw, single point sling, and snapshot. And because of this weapon's low time to kill, or high time to kill, I'm sorry, you need anything to help you put the gunfight in your favor. High cal will flinch your enemies, that'll get the gunfight in your favor. Single point sling will allow you to outstrafe your enemies so you can strafe left and right, allowing them to miss shots. And quick draw will just allow you to get the first shot in, same thing with snapshot. And all these little things you need to help you win gunfights. For your main perks, you want damage perks, crowd control or glass half full, stability perks, counterbalance or persistence, or you can get like rangefinder or hidden hand. Those are decent. They're not the best perks to get for this weapon, but the way I found this weapon to be the best is when you're around teammates. And it's a really good team fire weapon because it put constant damage and you can just keep putting bullets downstream. Again, auto rifles have a really fast reload speed, so you're allowing yourself to just constantly put bullets downstream. Great for team firing, not very good for 1v1ing, not very good for gunfights that have a lot of cover. Again, auto rifles excel when there's no cover. If someone's out in the open, you're just gonna melt them if you're getting your headshots. But even if you're landing all your headshots and you do everything right with this type of auto rifle, you can still get outgunned by a hand cannon, you can still get outgunned by a pulse rifle. You can do everything 100% correct and they will kill you. And it's just sad because you essentially didn't make a mistake, yet the game is penalizing you for not making a mistake because of how bad that gun is. The gun you're seeing here is my Grim Citizen with perfect balance, persistence, and hidden hand. It's decent, but like I said before, it's very passive. You have to pair it with a shotgun or a sidearm, and the time to kill is slow. I spec this one for strictly stability, just to see how it would go. And the damage drop off, you can still kind of feel it. I was still able to challenge people, not as confidently as I would with the mid rate of fire or hand cannon, but I was still able to challenge people. Another problem with this archetype of auto rifle is it shoots too slow and does not cause enough flinch. So if a sniper's shooting at you, they're most likely going to get a headshot off. Pulse rifle, hand cannon shooting at you, they're not going to receive any flinch, so they can still land 100% of their shots if their shots are on target. Only way I found this gun to be good, in all honesty, is if the other team had no thumbs. In all honesty, but it is fun, I guess. Keep him in your vault. Don't pull him out if you're trying to be competitive. If you're doing trials, if you're doing sweats, if you're doing Iron Banner, you do not want to pull this weapon out. It's not going to compete with any weapon out there. There is a fun factor and there's nostalgia factor into using these weapons, but there's no sense of urgency to use it. Just put it away. Don't pull it out unless you want to have fun in a private match or something. There's honestly no point in using them. Mid rate of fire is will outgun this in every range. So now we're going to look at focus fire auto rifles, just the Suros Regime and Genesis Chain in all honesty, and I just kind of want to touch on them. I say use them. Genesis Chain over Suros Regime though, because Genesis Chain comes with high cal, which makes it easier for you to win gunfights, unless you have the year 1 Suros Regime like you're seeing right now, that comes with high cal. They act as mini scout rifles, so they're going to compete with scout rifles. Mid to long ranges, pair it with a shotgun or a sidearm or a fusion rifle. But they're decent. I would use it over the low rate of fire auto rifles, just because I feel like high cal is a necessity for them. So in my eyes, in my opinion, the order of auto rifles that you want to use in the most competitiveness to the least competitiveness is mid rate of fire are the most competitive. Fits every playstyle, very aggressive, compare well with the shotgun, compare well with the sniper. Low rate of fire hinders you to close range, but melts in close range. It'll melt as fast as the last word, in all honesty. So you have to pair it with the sniper, and it's great for people who love to use Icebreaker. Use your Doctrine of Passings, use your Executioners from New Monarchy, I believe I said it was. Yeah, just use those. And then you have focus fire auto rifles for your long range, and then you have low rate of fire auto rifles that essentially fit no role whatsoever. But who knows, man, maybe they'll get buffed. Most likely not. That's all I have for this commentary on auto rifles. If they're competitive or not, yes, competitive, just mid-rate of fire auto rifles. But I also have a giveaway. I just want to get 100 subscribers by the beta of Destiny 2. I'll link that in the description. I made a Twitter. So if you guys like my gameplay, my commentary, anything, please like, subscribe to my channel. It'll mean a lot to me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Just enjoy the last minute of this. Alright, y'all. Peace.
Runner approaching the ring. Spark runner is down. Charging the spark. Spark ready. Take it. Stop the enemy runner. Enemy runner near. Yes. You and your allies move as one. Enemy runner stop. I abhor sitting here while others fight my battles, but I wouldn't have missed that match for anything. Spark charging.